Hello. Hey, I've got sound. What about that? Oh, the luxury. I presume you can hear me this week, right? The mic thing is saying you can. I presume you can. Yay, Maren. I know, right? Do you know, I have no idea what was going on last week. It was just the mic just set, the system just kept saying, can't find the mic, can't find the mic. Like, it's where it's always been. It's in the sock drawer, of course. Duh. Anyway, yes. My glorious and wonderful John. Oh. Right. Well, okay then. Let's start. That's good. I've had a busy day today. I've been on a yes, socks are good for the soul. Oh, bless you, John. Look, I've got to put that up. Isn't that cute? Oh, loving that pun. So yes, I've had a busy day today. I've been in Putney today looking at an office from which I will work and see people. Oh, is it today, the eclipse? It's a powerful energy today, I think, for everybody. So yes, it's good. So quite a strong, I could feel this quite strong energy. And actually, I think I will take it. So I'm going to have a workspace in Putney, which would be quite exciting, actually. Quite exciting. I'm looking forward to that. It won't be till April because it's not available to April. But it's a little space, quite a bijou space. But it's big enough for a desk, a couple of chairs and a table. So I haven't had a set space to read from for a few years now, other than Gus the Bus. And I am going to be reading from Gus the Bus in the meantime. So if anybody wants to come to Twickenham for a reading, you are welcome to. Yes, Putney. Ooh, it's exciting. All right. So we have Magnet for Love. Hello, sweetie. Lovely to see you. Can you have a general card? You can. Hold on. Right. My water is less than optimal. Looks normal, doesn't it? Except that I quickly filled it up from the tap and realized that my other half had just been running the hot tap. So my water is very warm. But you know, it's better for the voice to be warm rather than cold. So I shall endure. All right, this is for Magnet for Love. Let's have a look. Okay. Well, we have Temperance. And Temperance is a nice card. So Temperance is it's not an exciting card. Magnet for Love. It's just it's a card that tells you over the next week, because that's what I asked. What is your guidance for the next week? It's just important not to be extreme and to get the mix right. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to go hell for leather in one direction, or you don't want to go do a crash diet, or you don't want to go crazy doing this thing or that thing. You also don't want to burn out, do nothing. It's just a question of just keeping the week in the sweet spot. And look, a little bit of logic, a little bit of intuition, keep them balanced. Nothing into the red zone. There you go. That has to be your maxim for the next week. Nothing in the red zone. Keep everything in that nice sweet spot in the middle, and it will all work beautifully. Right? That's all right. It's a little bit of a holding pattern, but that's good. That's good advice. Very nice. And yeah, you know, there's something else that just came up, Magnet for Love, for me then, which I don't know if this is appropriate for you or not. But what I just heard when I took that card, when I just about to put it back, was don't forget to mention counseling. So if you are thinking of talking to somebody or getting some guidance, or you know, having somebody else's opinion, or working through stuff with somebody, then that would be the card that would guide you to that being a yes. So if you're thinking of doing a little bit of counseling or something, then it would be a good time to start. All right? Good. All right then. Right. I hope that makes sense. Let me know. Is that something you've been thinking of doing? I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. Good. Who else have we got? Okay, Michelle. I know, Fire Horse year. Fire Horse year is great because it's amazing, isn't it? How all of these different ways of describing the calendar and the energy of the year, and how they all kind of correlate and they all make sense with each other. I really like Fire Horse year. It's very wands based in tarot speak, isn't it? It's a big, creative and powerful. It's a sort of disruptor, but from a really strong and inspiring energy. Fire Horse year, very good. I like it. Who knows their Chinese sign? Anybody here? I'm a water tiger, just so you know. I'm the soppy, emotional tiger. Go grr. My son, my eldest son, is a metal horse, which is quite something to, quite something, a metal horse. So what are you? Share with me what you are. Who are you and what's your... I don't know an awful lot about the Chinese zodiacs. I just know that I'm a water tiger. So I'm the least fierce of all of the tigers. Could be a bit fierce if I have to be. But tell me what you are. Okay, Michelle, we're going to do a card for you. Right. Let's have a look. Right. Okay, oh, this is really good. See, I really like this card, Michelle, and I know it looks like a scary card, but in fact, it isn't. Well, I mean, it is in a way, but its message is really positive. So this is, so I asked for guidance for you for the next week, okay? And what this card is the Nine of Swords. And what this is telling you is that don't let fear make your decisions for you. This is the nightmare card. So what this card is talking about is it's the nightmare that plays in our head when we are absolutely in to the worst case scenario. So that's what's playing. It's sometimes called the 4 a.m. card because it's when you just wake up in 4 a.m. and you're convinced the worst possible outcome of your entire life is going to play out, and you're going to, I don't know what, die alone in a bedsit with a 1-bar electric fire and 19 cats. I don't know. Maybe that's your idea of heaven. Whatever your version is, this card is talking about it. What it's saying is it's just a nightmare. Whatever is your worst nightmare, it is just a nightmare. It's not true. There are fears that you've got to face. There are anxieties that you have to overcome. It's really important that you move through them, because once you've moved through them, you'll see things much more clearly and you'll make much better decisions, and you don't have to be scared. The worst case scenario is not going to happen. Okay? Guaranteed. It is not going to happen. So let me know what that means to you, whether or not there is something you're looking down the barrel at and you're going, oh, I'm really scared that's going to happen. Or oh, what if, right? You need to know it's not going to. It's okay. You can make other plans, right? For sure. Okay, good. All right. What else have we got? All right, Maren. I would love a card on what I should focus my attention on right now. Okay. Okay. What should Maren focus her attention on right now? Well, quite a similar message, Maren, to the 9 of Swords that we just have. So this is asking you what you're scared of, and it's also asking you kind of what's in the basement. So this is the big boy version of the last card. So the last card is just our anxiety and our fears playing out. This is a bit more deep rooted. So this is where we're literally going to go down into our subconscious and just work through what are our big fears, our primal fears, not our anxieties that something's going to go horribly wrong. Not that. This is a bigger deal. So you should focus your attention on, as I said, what's down in the basement. And the good thing is that when we do that, this card, it's interesting, this card, because a lot of people see the moon as being the card of the artist. And because from the place that we keep hidden from our shadow, there's all kinds of stuff that we can glean and we can bring into the world. So I don't know how you're going to use this, but when you go down into the basement in this card and you figure out what you're actually scared of and where it's come from, you can actually bring amazing things to life in your life. It sort of gives you a bit of a power pack. The Strength card. So the Strength card is interesting because it's directly above this. So we have death, we have the moon, we have death, and then we have strength, don't we? So they're all aligned. So in order for us to get to the Empress, which is the creative hub, there is something we have to do in our subconscious. We have to find out what's down there. We have to find out our depths, don't we? And what we keep hidden. How deep can we go? And that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. Not small anxieties, or even small anxieties that feel big. This is your big stuff. This is asking you to go in and turn the light on down there and figure out what you've got down in the basement that you can make use of, right? Because there'll be good stuff down there. So I hope that's going to be useful. That's quite interesting. I like the idea of the moon being the card of the artist, especially with it being in alignment with the Empress at the top and the moon right at the bottom. So it's like a proper line all the way down, and they feed each other, or they're kind of both working together in a way. So we like that, don't we? That's really good. Okay. So there we go, Maren. I hope that was okay and interesting, and you can go and have a rummage down in the depths. Yes, Magnet for Love, room temperature water is best. This is a little warmer than room temperature, but that's okay too. Okay. Great. Janice, at the risk of my stalker card turning up, I wonder what card that could be, John. Could that be the Ace of Swords? Shh. We don't want to wake it up, do we? How will my professional exam go if I decide to sit it this week? Okay. Let's have a little look. Okay. Okay, let's have a look, John. Well, we've got the Lovers, John, which is very interesting, isn't it? I don't think you've made the decision, if I'm honest. I'm not sure. I think it's telling you that that decision is yet to be made, and you have to decide where to put your priorities. And John, we're going to presume this isn't a relationship, but we can ask, what are you going to commit to? What do you love, John? What are you going to marry as far as this is concerned, right? Or is there a relationship that you love, but you just keep in the exam as a sort of possible bit on the side, in case this one doesn't work out? I don't know. But what this is telling you is it almost didn't answer your question. It just threw it back at you and just said, well, A, you haven't actually made that decision yet, and B, you've got to commit. So I guess it's saying to you, you haven't actually committed. And until you do commit, there isn't an answer. Because right now, I'm going to be real with you, I'm not sure you're going to sit it, John. Because you haven't committed yet. So you've got to commit big time, and you've got to really want to do it. You've got to do it for the right reasons, right? John, I don't know whether you've ever seen one of those really old versions of the Lover's card, the traditional versions of the Lover's card. If you go back into the 15th century or the 16th century, the Lover's card was, there were three people always on the Lover's card, and there was the guy standing in the middle, and then there was the girl on one side, and then there was the king. And what that meant is you need to decide between love and duty. And so the king is your allegiance to the crown, and the woman is that you love. This is your romance. This is the romantic side of your life. And you have to make a choice. Are you going to commit to your duty to the crown and your duty, or are you going to commit to your romantic side of your life, to what you want to do. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly a slam dunk choice here, but it takes the attention off romance, okay, and tells you that it's a choice of commitment. And until you decide to commit, they're not going to answer your question. I mean, I just think they're telling you that you're probably not going to sit it this week. I think that's probably what it's saying. So yes. Anyway, John, you'll have to make of that what you will. It isn't the Ace of Swords. It is the Lovers. So I think it might be telling you the same thing in a different way. It's going, well, he's obviously not listening to the Ace of Swords, so we'll give him this one instead. Let's see. What do you make of that, John? Let me know. Tell me what you think. Hello, Namira. Lovely to see you. Magnet for Love is a water dog. Oh, water dog sounds nice. I like that. Us watery types should stick together. So what's a water dog? What does a water dog, so is that sort of loyal and loving and water dog? That's nice. What's the thing of a water dog? Share. Magnet for Love. Look, I'll put you up on the screen. Water dog. Okay, so let us know what a water dog is. Okay. Namira wants to have a card. Okay. Lovely to see you. So what should Namira put her attention on this week then? That's what we're asking. What should Namira put her attention on this coming week? Ooh. So we've got the Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords is never particularly welcome, right? It looks a bit of an icky card. The good thing about the Three of Swords is it is an opportunity. And hello, Monica. I've got you. I will make a note. The Three of Swords is an opportunity. Now, look, it's not comfortable, Namira. It's not comfortable. We know that. Okay, but it is necessary because it is asking you. It's like there's a job of work to do, and what you have to do is deal with whatever is causing you this ouch. Now, it might be an argument with somebody. It might just be that you're feeling really crap. It won't last forever, but you do have to take it seriously and sort of figure it out, really. I think it's quite important. And there is, in this card, always fear. There's always fear in here. So it's really important to find out what that fear is, and also to just kind of nursemaid yourself through it, but in a really positive way, if that's possible. So you don't want to be telling yourself any stories here, right? You don't want to be telling yourself any stories. What you want to do is get to the fore as quickly as possible, which is staying very, very calm and stepping back and giving yourself time to relax. So when it says put your attention on this, it's not asking you to avoid it. It's asking you to lean into it and to get yourself through it. Now, we all go through these difficult squalls. So if something upsets you this week, don't try and just sidestep it. All right? Literally sit with it. Find a place of calm and don't try and push it away, but just go, okay, how do I really feel and what am I afraid of? Really important. Two things. How do I really feel and what am I afraid of? And when you answer those two questions, you'll feel a lot better. I promise. All right? I I hope that's helpful. Good, good. Okay, lovely. Okay, and this is for Karen. Lovely to see you, Karen. That's great. I wonder if we'll have our other Karen, our Karen A. I wonder if Karen A will be around tonight. She's recovering beautifully from her operation, I think. And really happy to have had that done, which is great. This is for Karen. Can I have a guidance card on what I need to focus on to achieve my dream? Yes, you can. Great question. Okay, let's go. Okay. Well, I've got the lovely Hanged Man here, Karen, and it's always a bit of a frustration, isn't it? The Hanged Man, patience. You have to focus on patience, and perhaps also one of the things about this card, you'll know, Karen, because I know you read tarot as well, is that we have to sacrifice something. And the thing that we have to sacrifice is the way we're seeing things. Because over time, we're going to see things differently. Things are going to change. Things are going to turn the other way up. And we need time and space to do that. So with regards to your dream, patience, just stay with it. Don't rush. Don't try and think I've got to get there soon. There's something in the process that is going to play out and change things and change the way you see things, which is important. Change the way you think, because we're in the Hanged Man. So we're in the mental realm. So we're thinking. It's all about the way we're thinking. Okay. So this is also, let's just look at the symbolism on the card, shall we? Because it's important. So we've got mountains in the back, and what this guy is not doing is he's not looking at the problems, not thinking about what's in the way, not thinking about how hard it's going to be, not thinking about, oh my God, I don't know if I'll ever get there, not thinking about any of that, just allowing it to be and just having patience and just sort of just do it and be with it and just do what you're doing. That's really nice. Patience is what it is. That's what you need to focus on. Does that make sense, Karen? So there is a whole thing here that is going to play out with regards to you achieving what you want to achieve. It's going to take time. And you may change your thinking on the way about aspects of it or how you're going to do it or whatever. That's okay. It's a sort of it's an unfurling, I think, is what it is. It's like an onion. It's going to reveal itself over time, which is really nice. That's good. Maren, you're a fire horse. Wow, that's very cool. Gosh. I'm going to step lightly around you, Maren, you being a fire horse and all. That's cool. Emo doggy. So water dog is emo dog. Well, well, yes, you're an emo dog. I'm an emo tiger. So, there we are. Wooden snake. Wooden snake. So that's a very earthy thing, isn't it? I think wood is that earth? What does that mean, Amira? What is wood? So tell me what you know about that. It's really interesting. And John is a rat. I know somebody too, we called ourselves La Ratastangu. The water rats. Do you know what kind of rat you are, John? Do you know what kind of rat? My husband is a rat as well. And I said to him, I'm not at all surprised. Just saying. But rats are clever, aren't they? Rats are supposed to be quite clever and sort of agile in their thinking. And it sounds, we automatically say rat, but it's a good thing. Rats are clever and adaptable and all of that good stuff. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write a comment, and buy Janice's new book. Thank you, John. Oh, and also don't forget, everybody, to go on my new shop, because I have a new shop. And if you want to check it out, you can. It is lifecodetarot.store. And you can get all kinds of interesting life code tarot goodness on there, including, I think personally, I haven't actually got one myself. I'm going to get one and wear it. The most cool Empress t-shirts. And for the guys, if you don't want to wear an Empress t-shirt, you can get the Magician or the Fool. They're all unisex. And all of the t-shirts on there are 100% cotton and recyclable. So there's no fast fashion on my watch, but also all of my stuff. I have a new tarot journal as well on there. It's so interesting. Got lots of cool stuff. Check it out. lifecodetarot.store. It's a great way to support the channel. Michelle, I've been stressing about money as I'm self-employed, not being as busy. That's good. So basically it's telling you not to be scared, Michelle, right? Not to be worried, not to assume the worst card comes up. It's really good. Okay, what have we got? If that card comes up, I'm buying a lottery ticket. Okay, so John is saying that card makes sense, considering a certain thing that is happening in my life. Good. And what have we got here? I got the Ace of Swords, the book I'm writing, and unexpectedly ended up doing some primary research on the bit I'm struggling with. Well, that's fine, isn't it? Because that's what it's saying, I think. I remember the Ace of Swords for you, Karen. And I remember your story. And I think what it's telling you is, patience and just allowing things to sort of unfold as they will and allow them to change as well in the way that they want to. You'll see things differently as you move through. That's really nice, actually. I like that. What a lovely thing. Okay, what else have we got? Oh, God. So here's John, our resident comedian. I was told to follow my dreams, so I did and had a lie-in. Yes, it is. I don't know what sort of rat. You'll have to find out what kind of rat, John. Let's see if you are indeed a water rat. All right, let's have a look. Yes, Twin Soul, you can have a card. I am just going to have a look at WhatsApp. I've got a couple of questions on here. So this is for Arnie. Arnie wanted one, and then we've got Monica as well. Oops, forgotten. Hold on, the question. 1 second. Let me just. Here we go. Okay. All right. So this is Arnie, Twin Soul, you are next. Please can I ask about my divorce outcome for finances tonight? Yes. Okay. Let's see. Okay. You've got the Emperor here. So it's not exactly what you'd call thrilled, is it? The Emperor is, well, somebody is digging their heels in, and you also need to be quite strong and resolute here. So when the Emperor shows up, it means we have to really manage our emotions, and we have to decide where the limits are, where the line in the sand is, what, exactly what's going on. And we need to be able to say no if, if we need to. And so this looks to me to be a need for you to be a bit tough, Arnie, because I would imagine that you're probably going to need to dig in about the outcome. I'm not sure that it's going to be as you would prefer it to be. And this is going to be a bit of a battle of wills. You're going to have to meet this head on with a bit of an iron will. So I'm not going to promise you that it's going to be easy. I'm not going to promise you that you're going to be thrilled. I am going to say that you're going to have to really, kind of be quite strong and powerful in your response, as in no or whatever it is. So the Emperor, so it's not comfortable, Arnie, is my feeling about that. And I think you need to plan for the most difficult interaction, if I'm honest. That's what I would do with that, and see where your bottom lines are and what you're going to do to enforce them. Okay, that would be my advice to you. Okay, good. Twin Soul is next. Okay. Okay, Twin Soul, this is for you. Okay, so you have the King of Swords. And the King of Swords is, as you can see from the picture here, he is judge, isn't he? And what this is telling you about, you have to put your attention on decision making, darling, and decision making from the perspective of evidence. So you need to ask yourself this coming week, for sure, what evidence do you need to be guided by in this coming week? And what decisions can you make on the back of that evidence? which is going to move you forward. And I think that's the most important thing here. So this is about you looking at whatever your situation is and go, okay, what decisions do I need to make? And I am not going to make them emotionally. I'm going to make them very, very logically. If I was a judge, if I was a doctor making a diagnosis, or a lawyer making my case to the jury, then that's how you need to do it. Decision making this coming week is going to be really important. You need to call it. Whatever it is, it needs to be called, and it needs to be called unemotionally, clearly, and dispassionately. Right, girl, that's that then. It's you sorted, hopefully. All right, hold on. Okay, good. Oh, John, you're a water rat. That's very cool. 1972. Oh, there's a lot of us water folks on here today. We've had one water folk and we've had a wood. What does wood mean? What does the wood element? Is that earth? Is wood sort of earth? I don't know. But yes, I think my husband is earth, the earth element. He's a rat, but he's earth. So not an emotional rat like you, John. Here we go. Hello, Jameson. Very nice to see you. I have Monica on WhatsApp. Okay. Right. Let's have a look. Okay. So this is Monica. Oops. Right. So Monica, you've asked. You also asked. And when, in addition, I can't answer that, sweetie. I can't answer that with one card. That takes a bit more investigation. Tarot and time is a tricky thing, and there's a whole process at the back of it. We can't do it with one card, not accurately, we can't. But let's have a look at this. So this is a yes/no question. So what we're going to do is we're going to slightly reword it, and we're going to go guidance to Monica about finding a good person to whom to rent her place. And depending on the answer, we'll tell you whether or not you should. Okay. I think you'll get the same answer enveloped in the same thing. So let's have a look. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, I'd say hold off. Honestly, I'm not sure that this is the right time right now, Monica. Because if that is a question about whether or not you should, I would say it probably is telling you that now is not the right time to do it. If it is guidance around finding the right person, what it's telling you is you've got this stuff to deal with. So you've got angst to deal with. You've got upset to deal with. You've got stuff in the mix that has to be dealt with first, and it is obviously something that is going to influence the environment maybe that the person's going into, or whatever it is, I don't think this is the right time right now. Your last question was, should I rent? I would say probably not at the moment. I think leave it for now, and give that a bit more time. So, yeah, no, Monica, not the moment. No, no. Give it some time and get everything on a really good, even keel. Whichever place it is you're thinking of renting, everything's got to be on a really good, even keel. You've got to be feeling good. Everything's got to be stable. All right. So that's good. That will be fine. And then we can revisit. Then we can revisit later. There we go. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, write a comment by Janice's new book, and visit Janice's online shop. Yes, thank you, John. Absolutely right. Good stuff. That's all right, Monica. I hope that's helpful. Hello, Cassia. Lovely to see you. How will the mediation process with my ex-employer go in March? All right. Let's get into that and let's see what we've got. Okay. Okay. Ooh, well, it's going to be full on, Cassia, that's for sure. So we've got the Knight of Swords here. The Knight of Swords is going to be fairly combative, I think. So even though it's supposed to be mediation, which is, it's a good job it's mediation, because you wouldn't want to be going one-on-one with whoever this is. It's fairly forthright, isn't it? Whoever it is going into battle. So there isn't any kind of empathy going on here for this chap. He's a fighter pilot. He's just going right into battle. So you're going to have to be prepared, Cassia, for quite a combative experience. It seems to me that he's not taking any prisoners, is he? It doesn't mean you can't do okay. It just means that that's what you've got to be prepared for. And you've got to have your side of it so that it's unassailable, right? So all of your evidence, all of your stuff lined up so you can stay really calm and really focused, and you're not going to let this knock you off course, right? You're going to be resolute, and because this can be a bit of a bully, right? In its negative context, it can be a little bit of a bull in a china shop, and sometimes, it can be a bit over the top. So in a way, don't be scared of it, because this card can be the master of its own demise if it goes too far. So just let them do their thing. You sort yourself out, get all your stuff in a row, stay very calm, very focused, and remember, if it's mediation, you'll have somebody else there to referee. So hopefully that person will be able to find a middle ground, and that's really important. But prepare for whoever it is to steam in, because I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to try and steam in. All right. Oh, well, that doesn't look like fun, does it? For sure. Okay, good. Well, we're quite quiet tonight, aren't we? You know, we were really, really busy a couple of weeks ago, and I think because there's that it's not the King of Swords. Yeah, you know, Cassia, the thing is, though, the King of Swords, I think the King of Swords would be easier because the King of Swords makes decisions fairly, really. He's normally seen as the judge, and he'll normally properly weigh up the evidence and judge fairly. And, you know, yes, there's no empathy. It's not made on emotion, but you would get a decision that was straight down the line, and he would go, okay, well, based on the evidence, we'll call it like this. The Knight of Swords is a little bit more, just a bit more battley, really. Just, the fighter pilot is just steaming in and just going for it. A lot more active energy in there. So, yeah. I prefer the King of Swords, honestly. I really would. Because even if he wasn't making a decision there and then, he would come to a decision and it would probably be the right one, because the King of Swords is, we've got to, that's what he's there to do, to think clearly. That's the point. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, so we had this thing where we had what looked like two streams, and one of them was vertical and one of them was landscape. And I think that seems to have attracted loads of people, but I think we're quite quiet on it because we're back to landscape. But that's okay, because we could be small and intimate, can't we? So that's all right. Good. So who else knows their Chinese sign? Anybody? And who knows what wood means? I want to know. Somebody Google it. Who knows what wood means? What is the wood part? Fire dragon. We've got fire dragon. That is. I wouldn't mess with a fire dragon. Who would mess with a fire dragon? I have a card for you, Jameson. I have your card here. Look. Hold on. In my deck here. Hold on. I'm just sorting through. I'll find it for you. Why are they never at the top, the ones you want? Ay, ay, ay. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. Well, there we are. There we go, Jameson. There's your card. Is that you? Did we just make a whole tarot card around you? That is not someone you want to truck with, is it? Goodness gracious. Fire dragon. Wow. That is powerful. Metal monkey. Metal monkey. Wow. That sounds like a rock band, doesn't it? Sounds like you should be playing some sort of aggressive, That's me, a bit spicy but loving. Well, yes, it's got a lot of fire energy there, a lot of passion. That's cool, Jameson. Metal monkey, very, very. What is so metal? Metal means that you're quite objective, I think. Is that right? Does anyone know what the metal side of it is? As I said, my son is a metal horse, so metal is like impregnable, isn't it? It's like it's a bit like swords, I think, in tarot. It's quite cerebral and quite, you're not going to let emotion or passion drive the way. It's quite keeping things in order and quite authoritative. I think that's right. What do we think? Somebody Google it. I would Google it, but I haven't got my phone, so Yes, still. Isn't it amazing? Wood. Let's have a look. Marine's done. Sorry, Aaron's done the research. Wood is not equivalent with the earth element. Oh, okay. Symbolizes growth, vitality, and creativity, and flexibility, acting as a driving force for development, similar to a tree stretching towards. Isn't that lovely? Strength, flexibility, strong, cooperative. We like that. Facing east can bring you good luck, can enhance wealth. Well, wood is good. That's brilliant, isn't it? That's really cool. I like to be wood. I like to be a wooden tiger instead of a soupy metal tiger. What does it say about water? Is it just basically are we just in cups now? Is water just emotional and daft, soppy? Like just psychic tiger. Is that what this is? What do we think? And what do we think about? I want to know about metal as well. So come on, guys, let's do that. What do we think about metal and wood? No, metal and water. That's right. What are our thoughts? I always feel quite sorry for my my water tiger. I always look at him and think that he looks a bit soggy and a bit sad, a bit bedraggled. Water represents wisdom. Oh, look. Oh, you see, this is all right, isn't it? Water represents wisdom, intuition, flexibility, and communication. Linked to years ending in 2 or 3. The water element, yes, again, there we go. That's also flexibility, intelligence, wisdom, and wealth. Well, there you are. You see, I have a wealth of flexibility, intelligence, and wisdom. Cool. Oh, well, I like that. I don't feel so soppy now. That's all right. And metal symbolizes strength, willpower, determination, and precision. Yes, that's very good. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Because my son is my son who was born in 1990 is very focused and very yes, stubborn. he wouldn't he wouldn't be upset to hear me say that. He would take that as a compliment. So yes, willpower, determination, and precision. I think that's fair. I think that's absolutely fair. That's good. We like that. Yes. Well, there you are, John. You and I are water creatures. Maren is fire. Yes, I am. Make some bacon. I am. Yes. And so we've got wood. We know. So fire. Well, let's just finish this, shall we? So obviously, we think that fire means passion and all of that and creativity. So, but what does it actually say? What does fire actually say? What is the right? We don't want to down res our Chinese people. Somebody look up fire, and in the meantime, I shall. Let me see. So, what have we got here? Hello, Gina. I see you. Wonder if you're still putting cards? Yes, I am. I'm just chatting at the moment. Happy to do it. If so, could I ask if KH will ever pack things up between him and I? If you wanted, no, I'm not going to disregard. Of course not. Okay. All right. So, how can we ask this? Because we don't want to ask it as a yes no, because that's you're not going to get a clear answer. What we're going to ask for is what should you know about the potential of KH patching things up between you and him? What should you know about that potential? Let's see. Well, I mean, you've got death here, and death says, I wouldn't hold your breath for anything soon. Now, look, it doesn't tell you that it will never happen, but it does tell you that this situation between you at the moment, that has to properly it has to die. And what that means is you have to see the situation as over completely. It doesn't mean that at some other time it can't begin again, but it will only begin again from a completely new perspective, right? It isn't going, you can't patch it up. That's not going to happen. So this is telling you that ultimately you have to let this go for now. You have to let it go completely. And once that has happened and everybody has got to a point where they perhaps don't care anymore, where it's just done, it's gone, it has no meaning, it has no life anymore, then there will be a chance potentially to start from the beginning again. But this tells you patching up, no, not patching up. That's not going to work. You have to allow this to purify now, and that's going to take a bit of time. Okay, doesn't mean that your association is ended forever, but this situation needs to come to the end of its proper life before anything new can come to pass. All right. I hope that makes some sense. Okay. Fire. Let's have a look. Oh, yes, we've got some answers on fire. So, John, fire represents visibility, passion, momentum, and transformation. Intensifies whatever sign it touches, bringing courage, leadership, energy, and emotional intensity. 5 years tend. Don't know what that means, but that's okay. Yes, well, that's very onesie, isn't it, really, in tarot speak? To feel more dramatic, fast-moving, and action-orientated. Very good. And we've got this fire, dynamic, high-energy, passionate. The fire horse is very freedom-loving. Oh, well, Maren, this is your year, girl. Right? This is your year. I think that's great. I think it must be lovely to be a fire horse. Isn't that just a great image? I just love that image of a fire horse, kind of like, it's got to be in slow motion though, hasn't it? Right? You can't, it's got to be in slow-mo. There it is. There's the fire horse. That is just awesome. And I really like the sun card in this deck with the fire horse. Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. Maren, I think it's definitely your year. For sure. Hold on. Can we find Maren's fire horse? We've had there you go. That could be your fire horse, couldn't it, Maren? What do you think? Do you reckon? The sun? Freedom? Visibility? Energy? Grr, passion? Definitely. I hereby anoint you with the fire of the sun and set you free. How about that? That's cool. Oh, yes. So, yes, Megs. I mean, I think that's right. That's what I'm getting anyway. But you know what? It doesn't mean that you'll never speak again. Just allow this to do what it needs to do. Okay. Hello, Katie. Lovely to see you. If you'd like to ask me a question, please do. Gina. Great. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so Gina, I may ask a career question. You may. I am not earning enough with my online work as a therapist and energy healer. Should I find a part-time job somewhere or just hold on to faith my practice grows? Okay, let's ask. Hi, Smruti. I see you. Okay. I ask a career question. Okay. Let's have a look. Right. All right. So your answer is the Hierophant. And that's really interesting because one second, Gina. Okay, so Samriti, I see your question. If you could not, just don't keep posting the same thing because I see you, and you don't have to keep posting it. Okay, so I've got you. I'll get to you. Don't worry. Okay, so Gina, the Hierophant is I'm not sure that it's telling you to get a part-time job yet. I'm not sure about that. That doesn't scream yes to me. And it also doesn't scream just hold on to faith either. So neither of your solutions are the way forward. What it's telling you is what you need to be is more mainstream, and you need to figure out how it's done, a formalized system. So either that means you've got to take your practice into a more mainstream area, or it means you've got to work out the formalized way of getting clients and working out how you're going to grow the business. And maybe, look at learning, look at sort of learning a formalized system in some way. So adding something in that is recognized as being a thing. It could be that a qualification would help of some sort, but not just any qualification, something that people would recognize and identify, something like, I mean, I'm not saying this is what you should do at all, something like hypnotherapist, which is a much more mainstream approach. Whatever it is, you've got to be looking at something which is going to lean in to a broader, perhaps, range of people, and something that you could apply in on a much more down-to-earth way. So that's what I think. I think you just need to find a different approach for the business. I don't think you need to look at a part-time job at the moment, because I don't think you've got everything you can out of what you're doing with your work at the moment. I think you just got to position it differently, and also maybe build the business differently. Maybe get some business training. What about that? That would work with the Hierophant. Business training, just the way it's done, right? So really go for that and really lean in, take it seriously, and do it in a very formalized way. And I think you'll see a difference. All right. So I hope that helps. Interesting question, though. Good. I like a nice, interesting question. Okay. Right. No, you're not annoying me, sweetie. You're not annoying me at all. It's just that I lose my place in the thread if I have the same question too many times. But it's okay. All right. Okay. Will I be able to get good marks in my physics exam? I'm trying too hard, but demotivated by previous results. Okay. All right. Well, let's take some guidance for you. Let's ask. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Good. Okay. Right. Your card here is the Four of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles in this instance says this is maintaining the status quo. So good marks. I think you can pass, right? I'm not sure you're going to be like thrilled, but I don't think this is not failing. But this is, though, playing it very safe. And what this is telling you is that you've got to build like a power base, right? So with the whole demotivated by previous, you've just got to let that go. You've just got to let that go. That's not going to help you. And it will drag you down, darling. So what you've got to do here is you've got to keep safe. Now, what that means is you've got to kind of like batten down the hatches, not talk to anybody about it outside of the people who can properly help you, and take it steady. Because the thing is, steady is the name of the game with Pentacles, especially with Four. It's a card that needs stabilization. So maybe what's happening at the moment is you're trying hard, burning out. That's not going to get you anywhere, right? It's consistent. Four is a consistent, stable, safe effort. And it also means that you have to protect your energy as well. So make sure that burnout is exhausting and demoralizing. So you can't do that. You've got to bring yourself to a stable part where the results you're getting are sort of, on a nice, strong basis. I think what you're doing at the moment is you're looking at the top of the mountain and going, oh my God, how am I ever going to get there? And oh, I'm exhausted. I can't do it. Right? The trouble is you don't look at the top of the mountain. Don't do that. That's not what we're doing here. Right? When we're in Four, we're gonna reach the next level, and we're gonna get that solid. So it's get each bit solid and then keep it safe. Right, I'm going to keep that, get that solid, keep it safe. It's building gradually from a solid base. And that's what we're doing, because this is where we are conserving our resources in order to build more. Now, what happens is, what you're describing is you're so scared of failing that you're not concentrating on what's in front of you. All right. It's just this bit, just this next bit. Do that. Don't think of the mountain. Don't look up. Don't think of how far you've got to travel. Don't think about anything except what's in front of you, how you can just make that solid, make that safe, and then just do the next bit. Make that solid, make that safe, and then you're gonna make more progress than you ever knew was possible. And if you do that, then you can start feeling a lot more confident. Okay, so this is just approach. It doesn't say you can't get good marks. It just says that you've got to stabilize everything. All right, so I hope that helps, sweetie. I really hope that helps. Okay, good. Oops, take that away. That's not what we want. Good. Okay, lovely. All right, and you didn't annoy me, by the way. You didn't annoy me at all. Oh, John, there you go. Thank you. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write a comment. And buy Janice's new book, and a brilliant idea. And also visit Janice's online shop. Thank you. Yes, John. We love John. Great stuff. John, the water rat. Isn't that funny, John, as a water rat, that you're also always making jokes? Because that's quite nice, isn't it? Yeah, I quite like that. There's a comedy pub in London called the Water Rats, where all of the old comedians used to meet. And I think I actually did a comedy course there once. I did some sort of comedy course at the Water Rats. It was great. And there you are, John. And there is you, the original water rat himself. Oh, that's all right, Samruti. That's fine. I hope it's helpful. Okay. Well, so long as I don't have measures taken. Okay, see, John, this is the part of the show where if you were on stage saying that, everybody would have to throw things at you. You know that, don't you? And everybody would love doing it. It would be the part of the show that we all wait for. When John comes on stage and makes the worst pun of the entire evening, and then everybody throws things, and John goes, ah, and runs off. I think we should do this live, John, for sure. All right, good stuff. So if we don't have anyone else, are we going to call it a night at that point, or is there anybody waiting in the wings who wants to ask a question but haven't? If you haven't, then we shall probably call it a night. I shall drink my now room temperature water, which has actually cooled down enough. Okay, good stuff. Lovely to see you all. Okay, so a card for Karine. Yes, absolutely. Samruti, you're from India. Last year, physics was too hard. My past results weren't good also. Well, try that approach, Samruti. Just try taking it really, really steadily and just build and build and build and I think you can pass. All right. I think that's what you can do. I think you can pass. And I think it's just a question of getting it done, isn't it? Right? Don't try and go to the nth degree. Don't put that pressure on yourself. Not going to help. All right. A card for Karine. Of course. Karine, if you're watching, we're all sending you our love. Okay. All right. Karene's got wisdom, which is for the traditionalists amongst us, judgment. This is good. Well, this sort of leans in, doesn't it, to Karene's Ace of Pentacles that she was getting endlessly as her stalker card. And of course, wisdom is all about sort of being reborn, isn't it? It's reassessment. It's starting again. She's gone through the hardest part. Look at that. The mountains are behind her. The sun's coming up. It's a dawn of a new day, and life is beginning again. And there will be aspects of life that Karene is going to reconsider. And it's like, okay, we're coming to a point, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a whole new plan, and based on experience, this is the way it's going to be moving forward. It's really nice. So wisdom is a massed experience, isn't it? It's where we've lived it, where we've lived stuff, and as a result of our lived experience, we know how we're going to do it next, and we know that we're going to be able to do it better because we have that experience. Isn't that cool? That's really lovely for Karene. Perfect for you, darling, if you're watching. That's awesome. Okay, what have we got? Crystal Ray, hello. How lovely to see you. I think you're from we've got a sudden flurry. Goodness. Hello, Felicia. All right, we're just okay, Felicia, then type me your question in WhatsApp and I will answer it. So anybody wants to ask me a question, do it now, because we're wrapping up soon. Ascending Universal Butterfly. Oh, that's lovely. That sounds quite Chinese, doesn't it? It sounds like one of those Zen Chinese things. I like that. That's a lovely name. A lovely handle. Great. All right, great stuff. I will get to you all. I see you. Sharest. Let's see. Okay, so Ascending Universal Butterfly, I am going to ask what you should be putting your attention on this coming week. Okay, let's have a look. Ooh. Oh, I like a meaty card. Okay, so we have the Devil. So the Devil is a really interesting card. Now, I don't want you to immediately go, oh my God, it's a negative card. It isn't a negative card. It's an information card. What this is telling you is this next week, you need to put your attention on that you think will solve your problem. So you're going to be very, very attracted to something that ultimately is not going to lead anywhere. Now, for instance, it could be a relationship which you are absolutely stuck in or determined to make work, or somebody that it's like a kind of addiction, right? So it's like, I'm just focused on this. This is all I can see. So, it could be any kind of a solution that's going to absorb your time, but it isn't going to take you anywhere, and ultimately will probably lead you back in reverse. So you're going to have to turn around and regroup as a result. This is telling you that this is not it's not too far gone. You've got to put your attention on this so that you can understand it and kind of swerve around it, right? So this is, as you can see, what we have on the card, we have an adult movie. All right. So this is linked. It's like the shadow of the Lovers card. Now, the Lovers card is where we are committing to something that we love. We're doing that for real. This is where we're committing to something which is not through love, it's through something else, and that is not going to lead us to a happy outcome. So it's really important this week that you hone right in on what you're really determined to do or to have or to make happen, and take a little step back. Take a step back and ask yourself, what would happen if that wasn't in your life? What would you do if that wasn't in your life? And do that. And you won't like it, and you won't want to. And that's okay. But sooner or later, you will have to. So you may as well make the plan now. All right? So there you go. That is your card. It is a big card. It's an important card. All right. Lovely, lovely. All right. Good. I'm glad it's helpful. I'm glad that's an important card. You've just had a really important piece of information. Okay, good. And thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. Okay. I'm a student trying to carry myself somewhere. So my basic question is, am I achieving my goals? Well, let's have a look. Okay, Sharess, let's see. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to ask this in the way that says, what can Sharess do? What should she put her attention on with regards to achieving her goals? Right? Okay, so here we go. So we have this. And what this is telling you is that I think you need to really take a good look at your goals and what you're doing to achieve them, because this is the 10 of Wands. And this 10 of Wands is going to ask you again to step back and allow yourself to get a new idea. So when we're pushing and pushing and pushing, right, it is very, very difficult to achieve anything. So I would say you're pushing too hard, right? The trouble is with this card, there is a legend around this. So this guy, and I can't remember the name, Maron will know who this guy is. The name of him has escaped me, but he has been cursed by the Greek gods, I think, to push this boulder repeatedly up to the top of the hill, whence it will roll back down again, and he will just repeatedly keep pushing it up the hill. He's doing the work for the sake of it, but ultimately there's no real passion in it. He's too tired. You're too tired. So the thing is, oops, there we go. Thank you, Marin. Oh, Sisyphus. Oh, and John as well. There you go. You see, more educated people than I on the live stream, which is good. However, the point remains the same. Sharess, you've got to step back from this, because this isn't going to get you there, darling. It just isn't. So I think take a bit of a break and really decide your why. Why are you doing this? What is your goal for? And you've got to make sure that it's the right why, because if the why doesn't really excite you, right? it's not going to work. And this is feeling too hard, not because you're not capable of it, but just because either you're pushing yourself too hard, or you're not moving with inspiration, you're not moving with creative energy, you're just trying to push it by force, and energetically that never works, sweetie. So step back, regain some inspiration, either come up with a new inspired idea, or just do it differently, or look at your goal and ask yourself, is this the right goal? All right. However, are you achieving your goals? Not with this approach. You're going to have to find a new way. Right? Okay. Said with love. Good stuff. All right. I called a project to work Ciphers, except this project was a boulder. Yes, well, it's not a fun thing, that's for sure. And when we get that 10 of Wands, that is really not fun. There is a in Taoism, there is a maxim for achieving something, and the idea is you only ever put 4 ounces of effort. Now, for youngsters amongst you, that might just be 100 grams or something. But whatever it is a tap, not a push. And the example was that if you have a balloon and you want to make a balloon travel, if you push the balloon, or you smack it, or you put a lot of force behind it, what happens is the balloon stalls in the air and falls. Whereas if you flick it gently and you just give it just enough, no more, the balloon travels a long way. So the idea is we must only put in the right amount of effort that makes what we want to do travel. If we try and push it too hard, or we try and put force behind it, then ultimately it is just going to get heavier and heavier and will ultimately fall. So, just saying, a little bit of Taoist wisdom for you there. Sweetie, I hope that helps. All right, so I have a last WhatsApp to do. Let's have a look. Felicia. All right. Let's do this now. Felicia is from Italy. Oh, I do miss Italy. There we go. Let's put this up. Okay. What must I understand now about my next aligned career opportunity in 2026? Timeline, if possible. Okay. All right. Timeline is going to be difficult, Felicia, with one card. I will take a card for you, and let's see what this has got to say. What must you understand now about your next aligned career opportunity in 2026? Let's see what it says. Let's see what we can glean. Well, you've got Temperance here, Felicia. So I think what you're looking at here is just finding something which is balanced. So this is not a rocket. This is not a firework. This is okay. This is something steady. It's something that's not extreme. It's something that's just going to keep going. because temperance here is a middle ground, right? But it's not a bad thing. It's the right mix. So it's the right mix of ingredients. So what I think is this is a sort of a building position. It's okay. So it's redressing some kind of a balance for you. All right. So whatever has been lacking in the previous situation, you've used the word aligned. So whatever has been unaligned in the previous situation, this balances it up, right? So it's not going to balance it up and make it go that way. It's not going to do that. It's not going to take it from there up to there. But what it is going to do is take it from there to there in the middle. And then it's going to give you a place from which to build. And that's okay. And that, I think, is what you need to align to. And you know what? If I had to really take a stab at a timeline because of what we have here, I would say late middle of the year is probably your sweet spot. I'm only saying that as just as a kind of instinct thing. Probably, later on in the year, not the end of the year, but sort of later middle. Take that softly. What's more important is the nature of the career opportunity and what it's for. Okay, and that's what it's for. So that's what you should be looking for, and that's what you should be aligning with. All right, hope that makes sense. Good stuff. Okay. Great stuff. All right. Litany. What happens if I detach versus if I pursue her? Okay, let's have a look. So what I'm going to do is, because that's two questions, so what I'm going to do is say, what should you do? Right? What should you do? What action should you take regarding this person? Okay. Okay. Well, that's fairly simple. I would say pursue. So this is definitely go for it, right? We're not going to make it more complicated than it needs to be. If it's a question of either detach or pursue, that says go for it. So this is like drive the bus. Now, it's not going to be immediate. You have to know that, right? This is over time. So this is courage and determination over time will get results. So if you keep on, right, slow, steady, keep on being determined, keeping that passion up, you've got to know what you want and go for it. I think you'll get the girl. I do. I think you'll get the girl. That's quite cool. I like that. That's a definite yes. Very good. We like it. Now, okay. So, Sharest. I'm putting this up on the screen because you've said it was a bit hard to digest. So I just want to just quickly say, boil the devil card down to, look at your life and say, what do you really, really want? And then look at an alternative, right? And you won't want to, but you should, because at some point you're going to have to. So that's my point. What do you really, really want? We're going to go Spice Girls here. Tell me what you want, which you really, sorry, that was inappropriate. But nevertheless, whatever it is you really, really want, you need to step back from it and reconsider, because it isn't going to lead you where you think it's going to. All right? So you've got to come up with another plan. If that wasn't a possibility, what would you do? do that. There you go. Hope that makes it clearer. Good stuff. All right. Good, little me. I'm sure you do. That's very nice, isn't it? Do you know what? I think we're going to end on that because that's a really good, strong, positive yes to end this live on. That's very nice. Don't we like that? Don't we like to give somebody a nice, strong yes at the end of the live? Excellent. All right, guys, I'm going to go and I will see you all next week. In the meantime, it was lovely to meet you all. Thank you for the new subscribers. It's lovely to see you. And thank you for John, as always. Thank you, Maren. Lovely to see you too. Always, always. Karen, all of our regulars. Great to see you. I will see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye for now. Bye-bye.